Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in to this episode of NotAnalog.com. Today I'm looking at the Ericsson S868. It only weighs 172 grams. It is only 49 mils thick. It has a black and white LCD screen. It has an 800 milliamp battery and has the memory to store 100 names in your address book. All that with a fancy little belt clip and an antenna which you know is going to give you good reception. Thank you for tuning in to the episode of NotAnalog.com. Today I'm looking at the Sony Xperia Arc. This phone is a little different to the ones of the past. Only weighs 117 grams, is 8.7 mil thin, has over 16 million colours on the 4.3 inch LCD display, has a 1500 milliamp battery, it takes up to 32 gigs of storage, has an 8 megapixel camera, supports DLNA, and let's face it, is a great looking device. I'm going to take you through it right now. Alright, this is the Xperia Arc. Now straight away you'll see just how thin the device is. It's very, very thin. So this side we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the opposite side we have the charging connector, the volume rocker, which is actually quite small, and the camera button. Flipping over to the top, you'll see the HDMI connector over here and the power button. This power button is very sleek and flush with the device. You'll see it's not really visible, but that makes it actually a little bit difficult to press as well, but it is possible. And on the bottom is just some microphone ports, not much else. And obviously the buttons here. On the back, you can see the 8 megapixel camera with flash, and obviously just a nice smooth finish on the Xperia. I'm going to fire it up. Beautiful screen. It's actually a Bravia LCD, which means it's using the same technology you'll see in their TVs, which is great. Now if I go through typical Android with your home screens, you'll see I've got the Timescape UI, which is standard for Sony or Sony phones now. Added a few widgets and obviously put some apps on there as well. If you haven't seen Android before, you have got notifications here. If you've got any emails or SMSs or whatever it is, it all appears here, which is really great. Flicking back out of there, got some small apps here as well. Just going in through here, very typical Android, except Sony makes their menu screens go sideways instead of up and down like on the Nexus S. Going back through, very standard sort of things. If I go into contacts, all of my contacts are in there, tons and tons of contacts, and really fast to search as well. Going back, jumping into my email, one of the other things I've noticed is that you can actually go sideways in your email, which is great. So you can go straight into your emails like this, and it's quite easy to navigate as well. So I think that's a real benefit, because Android, when it's sideways, naturally doesn't play horizontal. Gmail as standard, messaging for SMSs, your calendar and your browser. I'm just going to pop in here. Stop that. Let's try going to a website. I'm not on Wi-Fi, this is purely just 3G, and you'll see how fast it loads. It's really, really quite impressive. I really, really like the browsing on this as well. It's very, very fast. I'm just going to go back. Can I go back, please? Okay, went back too far. The Timescape app is really, really useful for people who use Twitter and Facebook a lot and just want to check up on it. Really simple to sort of go in, see someone's status or see someone's tweet all in the one screen. I find that really useful. Would love to see it on more phones. Going to go back out of there. The music app, the gallery. I love the gallery here. You can see, being able to look through photos. These are some photos which I did take with the Xperia. So this is a photo I took on the weekend, flipping horizontal, pinch to zoom, very responsive, quite fast to use as well. So I find that really, really, really impressive. You can see it brings in photos from Picasa as well, which is again just useful cloud storage. Going through the Android market standard, I've put some apps on here. Google Maps, you gotta love Google Maps. I mean, it's always fantastic. The navigation software is also really good also. Just love it. Going through, you can see it's pretty much standard. The Chrome to Phone app, if you've ever been curious about getting an Android phone, make sure you install this software. It's just amazing. I might do a separate video on that one as well. Going back through, really simple to use and very fast as well. Going through, you just can't really slow it down. It's just fast. Playing music is so simple. I've put Winamp on here because I think it's a little bit more advanced and a bit better than the standard app which comes with it for music. I find it to be very fast as well. Just going back, so simple. There really is not much to fault on this phone. When you start comparing it to other phones, it's a little bit different because there's now a lot of dual core phones, but this phone definitely, for a single core phone, is just amazingly fast and responsive, and it's just delightful to look at as well. What I might do is show you the camera app. I'm just going to press the side camera button here. I'll bring this little box, and you'll see I've got a whole lot of features here on how to take this photo, and obviously you can just so simple. I love it. So taking photos is very quick, very snappy, and obviously with all these options here you can take up to 8 megapixel photos, and it's just so simple. So I'm going to switch back. I'm going to give you some closing thoughts on the Xperia Play. Alright, so you've had a look at the Sony Xperia Play. I would love to know what you think of the device. To me, it is one of the best, or one of the better Android phones on the market. You know, where there's a whole lot coming out with dual-core phones from Samsung and Motorola and so on, which will probably be better on performance. But when you look at the style and the features which this still comes with, you know, it's got the great camera on the back. Shame it doesn't have a front-facing camera, I think. I think that's a little bit of a letdown. But the screen is incredible. The quality is just amazing. It's also scratch resistant on the front, which is great. My only concern is this curve. So you'll see the arc in the back here. I have a concern with this when it sits in your pocket. So if, for example, it's sitting on a flat surface, you have a gap here. Now, obviously, any downwards pressure is going to cause a crack or a breakage, I think. Also, if it's resting in your pocket, because it does curve at the back, it's probably going to rest against your leg over here and leave the screen exposed, which, you know, if you bump into something, it's also a bit of a risk of the screen. Alternatively, if you flick it around this way, you've got the flat and you've got the ridges here, you're going to create pressure points. So I think that you may have issues right in the middle there, but you know, if you take care of it and you're a bit more aware of your phone, then it probably won't be a huge issue. But you know, there are always things to keep in mind. So this phone really is one of the better Android phones I've looked at. Definitely impressed, and I would love to know what you think of it. If you have any questions, send me an email or on Twitter, whatever you need to do. Thanks for watching. Bye.